This video will show you how to replace the front right engine mount on a Chrysler Town & Country. This will be located along the passenger side of your engine compartment. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. Locate your air filter housing. We're going to remove this entire housing so we can make our way directly under it to gain access to our mount. Up along this area of the air filter housing, we have a breather tube which leads over towards our valve cover. Go ahead and dislodge that breather tube from the air filter housing. You can give it a twist to break it free, and then pull it out and away. Make sure it's soft and pliable, not torn, worn, or damaged. This looks good. I'm going to set it aside. Continuing on, you can see where we have our air inlet tube leading towards the intake. Loosen your 8mm headed clamp just enough that you can remove this inlet tube from the top of the air filter housing. Now looking down in this area, we have a 13mm mounting nut holding our power steering reservoir in place. Take hold of that power steering reservoir, you can give it a wiggle, and we'll just dislodge that, setting it aside. Now at this point, let's take hold of the air filter housing. If you were to look down along the bottom, you're going to find that it has several rubber grommets, and the bottom of the housing actually has locating tabs that slide down into those. We're going to have to lift this straight up and out. Typically just a couple light tugs on each end should lift this up and out of position. Go ahead and set that aside. Now with that out of the way, I always like to remove the rest of the inlet tube as well. Now I don't typically remove the electrical connector. You don't have to. Just go ahead and loosen this 8mm headed clamp just like the other one. We'll slide this out of place and rest it aside. Now if this is stuck in place, you can try to work it off of there by gently twisting or rocking it out of position. As I mentioned, we can just rest it aside. We're not putting any pressure on our wiring. That exposes our mount. Now at this point, we have a clear view of the mount that we're going to be replacing. Before we can remove anything else, we have to carefully apply pressure underneath the passenger side engine oil pan. I'm going to be using a jack with a block of wood. There we are. Now obviously we do not want to cause too much pressure. We're not trying to cause any damage. We just want to support the engine and transmission. After applying pressure underneath the engine, we're back up inside the engine compartment. We're going to start removing this upper plate. As far as the upper plate, I like to start with the inboard side. We have three 16mm mounting bolts. All three of these mounting bolts will look the same. You do not need to worry about mixing them up. So as we move towards the mount now, you have two 13mm mounting nuts. Now on most applications there should be a ground strap that leads from right here down to the mount that we are replacing. Ours is missing. Typically you would just make your way down along the bottom where it connects onto the mount, take hold of the metal part, and just go ahead and lift it up and out of position. Obviously ours is broken, but you'd want to inspect that strap. Now we can remove this upper plate. A quick inspection of that. Set it aside. Let's continue on the removal of our mount from the body of the vehicle next. Along either side of the mount, you're going to find that there's a 16mm headed mounting bolt. Let's go ahead and remove the pair. Mine is very rusted. There's our first mounting bolt. Just a quick inspection. I like to start it back in a couple threads. That'll help prevent this from falling out as we continue on to the next bolt. Both of these bolts will be the same. Don't have to worry about mixing those up either. Let's take hold of that mount and remove it from the vehicle. There it is, friend. Prior to installation of any brand new part, let's make sure we clean and inspect the mounting area. I'm going to start along the body of the vehicle prior to making my way up towards the engine. We'll just go ahead and clean this up. I'm going to use a wire brush. Just a quick wipe here. Close inspection, make sure there's no rot. This looks good. Now we're moving towards the engine. We can see where we have our 3 mounting ports. Perfect. Now we can install our brand new front right engine mount. Let's get this in place. Now, a quick note about this, during the installation, we want to make sure that we have this one locating tab facing forward. Once you have it in place, continue on with your 2 mounting bolts, holding it to the body of the vehicle. We'll start them in, snug them up. The torque for each of these will be 50 foot-pounds. I've got my torque wrench. Let's get this bracket in place, sliding it over the studs on the mount. Start bringing that down. We can start on those mounting nuts, but we'll leave them loose for now. On to the next 3 pieces of hardware. This is holding the upper bracket to the engine bracket. Now at this point, this is where you may have to adjust the height of the engine. Bring it up or down as necessary. Just be careful not to cause any damage. That's what we're looking for. Once you have all 3 of those started in, tighten each of those 3 bolts and then torque those to 40 foot-pounds. Now, before tightening those 2 last mounting nuts, let's make sure that we release pressure from under the engine. We can fully remove that jack and piece of wood. After removing that, we're on to tightening our 2 mounting nuts here. The torque for each of these will be 24 foot-pounds. Double check to make sure everything's properly secured. Now, if you did have a ground strap, you want to make sure that that goes from this upper casing here all the way down to the brand new mount. Just slide the clip directly on there and make sure it's secured. Now let's continue on to the air inlet tube. I'm taking this and sliding it onto my air intake. Now, I'm not going to tighten this clamp yet. I like to still be able to move it around as I continue on with the installation of my air filter housing. Now, as we start bringing the air filter housing down into place, there's just a couple things that we want to pay attention to first. All the way down in this area, you're going to find that there's a small plastic tube which would have to slide into the air filter housing. Also, there's going to be some rubber grommets down in this area that we have to make sure we're aligned with. Let's just have a quick look along the bottom of the air filter housing. Now, in this area, we can see that we do have two small locating tabs. Those will slide into the rubber grommets. And then you'll also find the bottom of the box has a couple rubber grommets here as well. Let's apply some silicone paste. This will help everything slide into place easily. Now, as we start bringing this down into position, we want to make sure we have it in the proper orientation. Clearly, this has to align with the inlet tube. As you remember, I mentioned there's a plastic tube that aligns with this port here. As we start bringing this down, you may find that it becomes fairly difficult to see those alignment points down along the bottom. Carefully reach underneath, be careful for any pinch points. Line it up, we'll continue on pressing it down as far as possible. There we are. Now, as we look in this area here, one of the alignment tabs is actually part of the washer fluid reservoir. It's supposed to go up and through this grommet. This looks good. We can take that power steering reservoir. We're going to bring it up into position along the top of the air filter housing area here. Start on your 13mm mounting nut. Make sure it's snug. Just make sure that is properly secured in. We'll continue on with our air inlet tube. Now, one thing to note about this, if I was to pull this away, we can see that there's one alignment point here. That needs to slide into this area right there. Press it all the way up and in there. Tighten your 8mm headed clamp. Make sure that's secure. On to the next clamp. Everything should be aligned here now. That's secure as well. Let's continue on with the breather tube. We're going to press this on as far as possible. Just double check, make sure that's secured. If it feels like it's loose, you can use a wire tie if necessary. Okay, friend, we finished the installation of our engine mount. Now the next thing you need to do is make your way inside the passenger compartment, start the vehicle, and confirm you don't hear any odd noises. Aside from that, you can close the hood and take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.